He is currently standing inside the opened rib cage of a dead sperm whale, holding a bucket. The question he is trying to answer is simple. What is the largest parasite on Earth, and can he find it? It ends in a hospital with a plastic tub and a tape measure. It starts with a tree. Right now, he is climbing a bare winter tree in a public park, 60 seconds from a road, because there is a dense green ball sitting in the branches 30 feet up. That ball is mistletoe, and mistletoe is a thief. He wraps an arm around the trunk. He hauls himself higher. A pigeon leaves. The green ball is not growing on the tree. It is growing into it. Mistletoe drills a structure called a haustorium straight through the bark and plugs itself directly into the tree's plumbing, drinking the water and minerals the tree spent all summer pulling up from the soil. It keeps its own leaves and does its own photosynthesis, which makes it only a part-time parasite, which is somehow worse. It's stealing, but politely. He reaches the ball. He grabs it. It comes away with a wet crack, and he descends holding roughly 4 kilograms of freeloading shrubbery.
It's a plant.
It is a plant. It is also technically one of the largest parasites he will ever touch by weight, and he looks deeply unsatisfied by that fact. He drops it in the grass. He wants something with eyes, so he goes looking for eyes. He is now standing at a fish counter, holding a snapper by the jaw, prying its mouth open with his thumb. The fishmonger has stopped talking. He is doing this to every snapper on the ice, one after another, and on the 11th fish, something inside the mouth looks back at him. It is gray. It is segmented. It has 14 legs and 2 black eyes, and it is sitting exactly where the tongue should be, because it is the tongue now. This is Cymothoa exigua. It swims in through the gills as a juvenile, latches onto the base of the tongue, and severs the blood supply. The tongue withers and falls off. The parasite then attaches to the remaining stub and spends the rest of its life functioning as a replacement. The fish pushes food against it, and it works. It is the only known animal on Earth that replaces a host organ and then does that organ's job. He is holding the fish very close to his face.
It has a face.
It does have a face. He buys the snapper. He also buys, for reasons he will regret for the next several months, a portion of raw marinated fish from the counter beside it and eats it standing up in the parking lot. Remember that. He won't. 2 weeks later, he is 11,000 kilometers away, ankle deep in Sumatran mud, following a guide who keeps looking back to check he's still upright. They are hunting the largest single flower in the world, and it is also a parasite, which is not a coincidence. Rafflesia arnoldii has no leaves, no stem, no roots, nothing. For most of its life, it exists only as microscopic threads growing inside the tissue of a tetrastigma vine, like an infection with ambitions. Then, after roughly 9 months of swelling in secret, it bursts out through the bark and opens a flower a meter across weighing up to 11 kilograms. He crouches. The guide points. There it is. 5 vast rubbery orange petals, mottled with white, sitting on the forest floor like something that fell out of a wound. Then the wind changes. Rafflesia doesn't want bees. Rafflesia wants carrion flies, so it smells precisely like a dead animal in a hot room. And our hero has just put his face 9 inches from the source.
I flew 11 hours for this.
He did. And the flower lasts less than a week before it collapses into black sludge, which means he is currently kneeling in the rain, gagging, in front of the largest flower on the planet, and it is already dying. Bold trip. Genuinely bold. Expensive, but bold. Most people would call it a career high. He is about to get a phone call about a beach. Because a sperm whale has stranded, a necropsy team is cutting it open, and someone has agreed to let him watch. This is where the numbers stop being cute. He is in overalls, in the rib cage, standing on things he cannot identify, holding his bucket while a biologist works through the intestine with a knife. Sperm whales carry the longest tapeworms known to science. Polygonoporus giganticus has been recorded at around 30 meters. A single flat ribbon of an animal, longer than the whale's own body, was tall, folded through the gut in loops, and somewhere in the reproductive tract of pregnant females lives Placentonema gigantissima, a roundworm that reaches over 8 meters and gets as thick as your thumb. It is the largest nematode ever described, and it lives inside a placenta, which is a sentence nobody needed. They find tapeworm, not 30 meters of it, fragments, sections, pale and ridged, pooled in the tray like wet tagliatelle. He lifts a length of it with both hands and holds it up, and for a moment his expression is almost religious. Enjoying yourself?
I'm inside a whale.
That's not an answer. He goes home smelling like the inside of a whale, convinced he has peaked. He has not peaked. The largest parasite in this video has been traveling with him the entire time, and it has been growing. It starts with tiredness. Then the tiredness gets stupid. He sits down on a staircase halfway up. His blood work comes back with a vitamin B12 level that makes his doctor read it twice, and a stool sample comes back with eggs in it. Broad fish tapeworm, Diphyllobothrium, from raw fish, from the parking lot. He is sitting on the edge of an examination table receiving this information, and for the first time in this entire experiment, he is quiet.
How long?
10 meters is normal. 12 happens. Here is what has been living in him. It has no mouth. It has no stomach, no gut, nothing to digest with, because it doesn't need any of that. It lies flat in the small intestine and absorbs pre-digested food directly through its skin, bathing in a meal he paid for. Its body is not one body, but a chain of thousands of segments, each one a self-contained egg factory, and together they release around 1 million eggs a day. It anchors itself with a head the size of a grain of rice using 2 shallow grooves, and if that head survives treatment, it simply grows the whole thing back. The cure is 1 dose of praziquantel. 1. He swallows it in the clinic with a paper cup of water, and the drug does something almost kind. It paralyzes the worm, breaks its grip, and lets his own body do the rest. And now we arrive at the hook. He is on the bathroom floor. There is a plastic tub, a pair of gloves, and a tape measure he bought specifically for this, because of course he did. He is unspooling something pale and flat and ribbed along the tiles, hand over hand, and it keeps coming. Past the toilet, past the door. He has to open the door.
It's still going.
He runs out of bathroom. He runs out of hallway. The final measurement, laid down the length of his apartment in 3 neat parallel rows, is just over 7 meters. 7 meters of animal that has been folded inside a man who flew to Sumatra to smell a flower and climbed a tree to steal a shrub, all while carrying the biggest thing on the list in his own abdomen. So, the largest parasites on Earth are enormous, and the record holders live in Wales, and the flowers are the size of car tires, and none of that matters, because the one that mattered was free, arrived in a parking lot, and cost him nothing but every ounce of his energy for 4 months. He is now sitting on the floor beside 7 meters of his former tenant, holding the tape measure, staring at it with an expression that is not disgust. Any regrets?
No.
He's lying. Probably.
Should I keep it?
No.